Hare Krishna. We'll start with the prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Namao Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hara Haraya Nama Krishnaya Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Govindaya Namaha Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Govindaya Namaha Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radha Ramana Govinda Hari Bol Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. So welcome you all to the Srimad Bhagavatam prayers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna. Where were we last week?
We completed the prayers by demigods Mataji.
Yeah, we welcome Krishna, no? Last week. So this week we have to do prayers by Nala Kubera, Brahma and wives of Kalya, if possible by Indra. Okay. 10, 29 to 38. Do you know who is Nala Kubera? Somebody from the audience?
Son of Kuvera Mataji.
So what is the sinful activity they did and why are they being punished? Why are we speaking about them now?
Once Narada Muni was going around, these people were intoxicated, Nalakuvara and Manigriva. They were intoxicated and naked and dancing with the girls in the pond near Ganges. Then Narada Muni wanted to chastise them, and so he cursed them to become priest.
Passing by, they were so engrossed in sense enjoyment that they don't even notice that a great sage like Narada is just passing by. So Narad Muni said, yes, these people needs a lesson. So he will curse him to become a
tree.
Yeah. So which trees they will become and where they'll be posted?
In Yashoda Mata in Yashoda's house, Yashodama's house, Vrindavan.
Yeah, backyard.
Yeah.
Backyard of Yashoda Maya's home. This Yamajala trees will be there. Yeah. So what is the significance of that trees? What happened? What what is say? Which stage of Lord Krishna is associated with the liberation of these trees?
Damodara Mataji.
So we have an upcoming Damodara month, right? So what exactly happens in the Damodara month?
The Lord
Mother.
is
Okay.
Yes. Anyone can say it's okay.
Mother Yashoda tied Krishna to a motor, and Krishna was lying there, standing there crying. So he saw these two trees, and he went near the tree, and he remembered his devotee Narada had cursed them, and it is time for their liberation. So he will pull the motor and reach near the trees. And when he went in between the trees, both the trees fell down and they were liberated.
Before that, these two boys, Krishna and Balaram, they are very naughty. So the neighborhood will complain to Yashoda Maya saying that your boys stealing in our home, they are stealing the butter and they are feeding the monkeys. Then Yashoda Maya says, I have enough butter in my home. Why there is a need for my sons to come to your home and steal the butter, she will say. I said, see, we are not lying. If you want, you can come and you can check it out. So she will come in the disguise of a gopi dress. And she will be astonished to see that literally these two boys are stealing the butter from the neighborhood and feeding the monkeys. She will catch hold him and she will say that you deserve a punishment for this act and all. So she will try to tie him with a rope and all. It's Krishna Maya. It's all the mercy of Krishna. And see, these two great personality have to be liberated by Krishna. So how much ever Yashoda Maya was trying to tie these two boys, trying to tie Lord Krishna, the the rope was short by some inches. So even if she is taking out that knot also, again it was getting short by some inches. So by whatever means, then at last Lord Krishna will think, okay, I should not trouble my mother, I should go, whatever it is, I should let her win. So again, he will surrender on to her and let her tie him to the mortar. Then as the story said by Vanuja Mataji, very nice Mataji. Now that these people are liberated, Hare Krishna. So now that these people are liberated, so the liberated souls will feel very happy being back to their original shape and form, isn't it? Anybody, not only them, any of us who are stuck up in certain thing, when we come back home, we also get the same feeling. So now these people are offering the prayers, which starts from text 29 to 38. Yes, anybody please volunteer to read.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Is it from 29 Mataji?
Yeah, 29 to 38.
Okay. Text 29. O Lord Krishna, your opulent mysticism is inconceivable. You are the supreme original person, the cause of all causes, immediate and remote, and you are beyond this material creation. I earned Brahmanas know on the basis of the Vedic statement Shravanam Kalav Idam Brahma, that you are everything and that this cosmic manifestation in its gross and subtle aspects is your form. Text 30 to 31. You are the supreme personality of Godhead, the controller of everything. The body, life, ego, and senses of every living entity are your own self. You are the supreme person, Vishnu, the imperishable controller. You are the time factor, the immediate cause, and you are material nature, consisting of the three modes passion, goodness, and ignorance. You are the original cause of this material manifestation. You are the super soul, and therefore you know everything within the core of the heart of every living entity. Text 32. O Lord, you exist before the creation, therefore, who trapped by a body of material qualities in this material world can understand you. Text 33. O Lord, whose glories are covered by your own energy, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are Sanskarasana, Shankarshana, the origin of creation, and you are Vasudeva, the origin of the Chatur.
Chatri. Chatri.
What is it? The origin of the Chatur.
Chaturvyuha. Chaturvyuha.
Chaturvyuha. Okay. Because you are everything and are therefore the supreme Brahman. We simply offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Text 34 to 35. Appearing in bodies like those of an ordinary fish, tortoise, and hog, you exhibit activities impossible for such creations to perform extraordinary, incomparable, transcendental activities of unlimited power and strength. These bodies of yours, therefore, are not made of material elements, but are incarnations of your Supreme Personality. You are the same Supreme Personality of Godhead who have now appeared with full potency for the benefit of all living entities within this material world. Text 36. O supremely auspicious, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you, who are the supreme good, who most famous descendant and controller of the Yadu dynasty, O son of Vasudeva, O most peaceful. Let us offer our obeisances onto your lotus feet. Text 37. O supreme form, we are always servants of your servants, especially of Narad Muni. Now give us permission to live for our home. It is by the grace and mercy of Narada Muni that we have been able to see you face to face. Text 38. Henceforward, may all our words describe your pastimes. May our ears engage in oral
Oral.
oral reception of your glories. May our hands, legs, and other senses engage in actions pleasing to you, and may our minds always think of your lotus feet. May our heads offer our obeisances to everything within this world, because all things are also your different forms, and may our eyes see the forms of Vaishnavas who are not different from you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So having realized that after punishment, somehow they have, there is a remorse of what wrong they did, and they have realized that that ultimate thing is to serve the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, Krishna. So now that since Krishna has liberated them, now they wanted to engage themselves by engaging the senses in the service of the Lord and offer the obeisances. Now we'll move on to our next prayers by Brahma. Okay, anybody know the story about this? Hare Krishna.
Is it Brahma Samhita Mataji?
No.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mata, please, again.
Brahma was wondering how this little Krishna is having so much power. So he wanted to check it. He will take away all his cowherd boys and
Cows.
cowherd boys, his friends. They were going to the forest to tend the cows and all. So he will take away all of them and the cows, calves, everything. Then Krishna will realize it. and he will start expanding himself into all the boys, cows, calves, and all. And he will return home so that their mother's parents won't be sad because they can't find their children. So, and this was for 1 year, Brahma had kept them with him. Later on, when he came back, he saw that Krishna had expanded and nothing has happened. Then he will realize Krishna's power and he will pray to Krishna, understanding his wrong. And
Yes, Mataji. So he will just wanted to try it. It's an act of ignorance. So
yeah, yes.
after an year, when he come back to check whether these boys are like, how are these parents suffering without the children and all, he'll come to check them out. But when they see all the parents are very much happy than before with the cows, calves, and the gopabalas, so then he will realize his mistake and he will offer his prayers to Lord Krishna. Okay. So the text starts from these are the prayers after the realization. And you have to start from text 3 onwards. Yeah. Anybody, please?
May I?
Those who keep
Yes, Rukmini Mata. Read.
Yes, ma'am. Text 3.
Yeah, 3 to 39.
Okay, Mataji.
I think you can divide among 3 to some 25 you can read. From 26 to 39, some of the devotees.
I do aim, Mataji. Text 3. Those who, even while remaining situated in their established social positions, throw away the process of speculative knowledge and with their body, words, and mind, offer all respects to descriptions of your personality and activities, dedicating their lives to these narrations, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees. Conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within the 3 worlds. Text 4. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the best path for self-realization. If someone gives up that path and engages in the cultivation of speculative knowledge, he will simply undergo troublesome process and will not achieve his desired result. As a person who beats an empty husk of wheat cannot get grain, one who simply speculates cannot achieve self-realization. His only gain is trouble. Text 5. O Almighty Lord, in the past, many yogis in this world achieved the platform of devotional service by offering all their endeavors unto you and faithfully carrying out their prescribed duties. Through such devotional service, perfected by the process of hearing and chanting about you, they came to understand you, O infallible one, and could easily surrender to you and achieve your supreme abode. Text 6. Non-devotees, however, cannot realize you in your full personal feature. Nevertheless, it may be possible for them to realize your expansion as the impersonal supreme by cultivating direct perception of the self within the heart, but they can do this only by purifying their mind and senses of all conceptions of material distinctions and all attachment to material sense objects. Only in this way will your impersonal feature manifest itself to them. Text 7. In time, learned philosophers or scientists might be able to count all the atoms of the earth, the particles of snow, or perhaps even the shining molecules radiating from the sun, the stars, and other luminaries. But among those learned men, who could possibly count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have descended onto the surface of the earth for the benefit of all living entities? Text 8. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisance with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. Text 9. My Lord, just see my uncivilized impudence. To test your power, I try to extend my illusionary potency to cover you, the unlimited and primeval super soul who will bewilder even the masters of illusion. What am I compared? What am I compared to you? I'm just like a small spark in the presence of a great fire. Text 10. Therefore, O infallible Lord, kindly excuse my offenses. I have taken birth in the mode of passion and am therefore simply foolish, presuming myself a controller independent of your lordship. My eyes are blinded by the darkness of ignorance, which causes me to think of myself as the unborn creator of the universe. But please consider that I'm your servant and therefore worthy of your compassion. Text 11. What am I? A small creature measuring 7 spans of my own land? I'm enclosed in a pot-like universe composed of material nature, the total material energy, false ego, ether, air, water, and earth. And what is your glory? Unlimited universe pass through the pores of your body, just as particles of dust pass through the openings of a screened window. Text 12. O Lord
Adokshita.
Adokshita, does a mother take offense when the child within her womb kicks with his legs? And is there anything in existence, whether designated by various philosophers as real or as unreal, that is actually outside your abdomen? Text 13. My dear Lord, it is said that when the 3 planetary systems are immersed into the water at the time of dissolution, your planetary portion, Narayana, lies down in the water. Gradually, a lotus flower grows from his navel, and Brahma takes birth upon that lotus flower. Certainly, these words are not false. Thus, am I not born from you? Text 14. Are you the original Narayana, O Supreme Controller, since you are the soul of every embodied being and the eternal witness of all created realms? Indeed, Lord Narayana is your expansion, and life is called Narayana because he is the generating source of the primeval water of the universe. He is real, not a product of your illusory Maya. Text 15. My dear Lord, if your transcendental body, which shelters the entire universe, is actually lying upon the water, then why were you not seen by me when I searched for you? And why, though I could not envision you properly within my heart, did you then suddenly reveal yourself? Text 16. My dear Lord, in this incarnation, you have proved that you are the supreme controller of Maya. Although you are now within this universe, the whole universe creation is within your transcendental body. A fact you demonstrated by exhibiting the universe within your abdomen before your mother Yashoda. Text 17. Just as this entire universe, including you, was exhibited within your abdomen, so it is now manifested here externally in the same exact form. How could such things happen unless arranged by your inconceivable energy? Text 18. Have you not shown me today that both you yourself and everything within this creation are manifestations of your inconceivable potency? First, you appeared alone, and then you manifested yourself as all of Vrindavana's calves and cowherd boys, your friends. Next, you appeared as an equal number of four-handed Vishnu forms who were worshipped by all living things, including me. And after that, you appeared as an equal number of complete universe. Finally, you have now returned to your unlimited form as the supreme absolute truth, one without a second. Text 19. To persons ignorant of your actual transcendental position, you appear as part of the material world, manifesting yourself by the expansion of your inconceivable energy. Thus, for the creation of the universe, you appear as me, Brahma. For its maintenance, you appear as yourself, Vishnu. And for its annihilation, you appear as Lord Trinetra, Shiva. Text 20. O Lord, O Supreme Creator and Master, you have no material birth, yet to defeat the false pride of the faithless demons and show mercy to your saintly devotees, you take birth among the demigods, sages, human beings, animals, and even the aquatics. Text 21. O Supreme Great One, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, Matter, Master of all mystic power, your pastimes are taking place continuously in these three worlds. But who can estimate where, how, and when you are employing your spiritual energy and performing these innumerable pastimes? No one can understand the mystery of how your spiritual energy acts. Text 22. Therefore, this entire universe, which like a dream is by nature unreal, nevertheless appears real, and thus it covers one's consciousness and assails one with repeated miseries. The universe appears real because it is manifested by the potency of illusion emanating from you, whose unlimited transcendental forms are full of eternal happiness and knowledge. Text 23. You are the one supreme soul, the primeval supreme personality, the absolute truth, self-manifested, endless and beginningless. You are eternal and infallible, perfect and complete, without any rival, and free from all material designations. Your happiness can never be obstructed, nor have you any connection with material contamination. Indeed, you are the indestructible nectar of immortality. Text 24. Those who have received the clear vision of knowledge from the sun-like spiritual master can see you in this way as the very soul of all souls, the super soul of everyone's own self. Thus, understanding your original personality, they are able to cross over the ocean of illusory material existence. Text 25. A person who mistakes a rope for a snake becomes fearful, but he then gives up his fear upon realizing that the so-called snake does not exist. Similarly, for those who fail to recognize you as the supreme soul of all souls, the expansive, illusory, material existence arises, but knowledge of you at once causes it to subside. Text 26. The conception of material bondage and the conception of liberation are both manifestations of ignorance. Being outside the scope of true knowledge, they cease to exist when one correctly understands that the pure spirit soul is distinct from matter and always fully conscious. At that time, bondage and liberation no longer have any significance, just as day and night have no significance from the perspective of the sun. Text 27. Just see the foolishness of those ignorant persons.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Now you
Mataji.
can- Ma.
Mataji, can I continue?
Yes, Racheta, you can continue. Kalyani Mataji, you can read the next prayer.
Yeah, from 27, no?
Yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Just see the foolishness of those ignorant persons who consider you to be some separated manifestation of illusion, who consider the self, which is actually you, to be somebody, something else. The material body, such fools conclude that the supreme soul is to be searched for somewhere outside your supreme personality. O unlimited Lord, the saintly devotees seek you out within their own bodies by rejecting everything separate from you. Indeed, how can discriminating persons appreciate the real nature of a rope lying before them until they refute the illusion that it is a snake? My Lord, if one is favored by even a slight glance of the mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the supreme personality of Godhead are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. My dear Lord, I therefore pray to be so fortunate that in this life as Lord Brahma, or in another life, wherever I take my birth, I may be counted as one of your devotees. I pray that wherever I may be, even among the animal species, I can engage in devotional service to your lotus feet. O Almighty Lord, how greatly fortunate are the cows and the ladies of Vrindavana, the nectar of whose breast milk you have happily drunk to your full satisfaction, taking the form of their calves and children. All the Vedic sacrifices performed from time immemorial up to the present day have not given you as much satisfaction. How greatly fortunate are Nanda Maharaja, the cowherd men, and all the other inhabitants of Brajabhumi. There is no limit to their good fortune because the absolute truth, the source of transcendental bliss, the eternal supreme Brahman, has become their friend. Yet, even though the extent of the good fortune of the residents of Vrindavana is inconceivable, we 11 presiding deities of the various senses headed by Lord Shiva are also most fortunate because the senses of these devotees of Vrindavana are the cups through which we repeatedly drink the nectarian, intoxicating beverage of the honey of your lotus feet. My greatest possible good fortune would be to take any birth, whatever in the forest of Gokula, and to have my head bathed by the dust falling from the lotus feet of any of his residents. Their entire life and soul is a supreme personality of Godhead, Mukunda, the dust of whose lotus feet is still being searched for in the Vedic mantras. My mind becomes my mind becomes bewildered just trying to think of what reward other than you could be found anywhere. You are the embodiment of all the benedictions which you bestow upon these residents of the cowherd community of Vrindavana. You have already arranged to give yourself to Putana and her family members in exchange for her disguising herself as a devotee. So what is left for you to give these devotees of Vrindavana whose homes, wealth, friends, dear relations, bodies, children, and very lives and hearts are all dedicated only to you? My dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, the material attachments and desires remain thieves. Their homes remain prisons, and the affectionate feelings for their family members remain foot shackles. My dear Master, although you have nothing to do with material existence, you come to this earth, imitate the material life just to expand the varieties of ecstatic enjoyment for your surrendered devotees. There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let me think that way. As far as I am concerned, I do not wish to be speaking very much about this matter. Oh my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. My dear Krishna, I now humbly request permission to leave. Actually, you are the knower and seer of all things. Indeed, you are the Lord of all the universes, and yet I offer this one universe unto you. My dear Sri Krishna, you bestow happiness upon the lotus-like Vishnu dynasty and expand the great oceans consisting of the earth, the demigods, the brahmanas, and the cows. You dispel the dense darkness of irreligion and oppose the demons who have appeared on this earth. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, as long as this universe exists and as long as the sun shines, I will offer my obeisances unto you.
Krishna.
Sukadeva Goswami said, having thus offered his
Hare
prayers,
Krishna.
yes, Mataji,
Hare Krishna.
yes, Mataji,
Only till 38. Okay.
okay, no problem. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So the people who are not devotees, they cannot appreciate Krishna. And until and unless they become a devotees, then only they can know the energies of the Lord. here he will have a comparison of about that means he will say how grateful are the Nanda Maharaj and all the cowherd boys and people who are there in Vrindavan that effortlessly they are in the protection of Lord Krishna. Okay, and he feels so unqualified and so ignorant of his own behavior that he is in that list of non-devotees who could not recognize Krishna, that he has abducted the boys and all the cows and the cowherd calves, everything and all. So he's feeling very, very ashamed of all that things. So he thought he knows that everything about like Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, Karnodaka Sai Vishnu, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, the origin of Brahma, everything and all. He thought, I know everything, like, but I'm so ignorant towards your activities that I could not reach out and confirm that it is you who are with the cowherd boys. So at the end, when he realizes his mistake, he is offering the obeisances onto the Lord and asking him for forgiveness and allowing him to do the service for Lord Krishna. Okay. Next, we'll go on to our next prayers by Kalia. Yes, Kalyani Mataji, you can read next. Any briefing about Kalia? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Anybody?
Mataji.
Yes.
May I?
Yes.
So Kalia was Queen Katu's son, and Krishna had killed Kalia, and he is the son of Kashyap Muni, and the brother Vasuki, and the whole what is and the whole serpent family, I mean Nagas. So he was poisoning the river of Yamuna, and people in Gokula were facing a lot of issues because of the poisonous water. People were falling sick, the children were falling sick. So they went to Nanda Maharaja and approached this problem and approached their respective problems. And this is when Krishna had overheard their conversation and decided to help the Gokul Vasis, and this is when the Kalia dance happened, when Krishna danced on Kalia's head. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So what will happen after he dance?
So Kalia will die, and
No, he will not die.
he'll take all his poison from his body.
He goes away to another place.
Other ocean, I think,
Yes.
with his
No.
wives.
No,
Because the wives to the Vishnu to forgive him for the proud he has that he's such a poisonous snake in the entire Ganga.
he's
Sorry,
poisoning
Yamuna.
and all. Then Kalia will say, you have only created me, Krishna, to be a snake, and you have given me the poison. Now you are saying me not to poison this water. What is this? Where shall I go and live? So he says, I have given you a poison. I just to protect yourself, not to trouble others. So why are you troubling others? See, here many cows, and the people who are coming and drinking this Yamuna water are getting sick and they are leaving. They are just they have to go. Wash off their hands out of their lives. So this is not right. Why don't you go in a secluded place, stay there, and do your activities? So this is quite offensive that you're staying here and you're polluting the water. Okay, Hare Krishna. So this pastime of Krishna comes in which age of Lord Krishna?
9 to 10
Five,
years.
In
5
childhood.
years, Mataji. 5 years.
Yeah. So when Lord Krishna jumped onto the Yamuna river to just see that, to teach a lesson to Kalia, so everybody will be very frightened. He's such a small boy, the poisonous snake may bite Lord Krishna, whether he's alive or not. So much of insecurities there in and around the Rajavasis. But, the Lord ultimately turned out to be victorious, and when he danced on the hood of the Kalia, the Kalia could understand at the end, it is none other than the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, Lord Krishna, who can make him tired. Okay, so he will just realize his mistake and ask for the forgiveness. Meanwhile, the wives of Kalia will feel very insecure and they think that the Kalia is going to die and all of them will come and offer the prayers to the Lord just to forgive him for the mistakes. So likewise, his life will be spared and he will be redirected towards the another place. Okay. Hare Krishna. See, Rachayita Mataji has written a direct message to me. Even though we hear the pastimes of Lord, but why does our knowledge towards Krishna remains incomplete? See, we should be complete to we should have that eligibility. Just now the Brahma is saying, no, we should have that eligibility to receive the knowledge about the Lord. As long as we are incomplete, so we cannot receive that knowledge. So we'll go on with the next prayers. Prayers by Kalia from 33 to 53. Yes, Kalyani Mataji, you can start reading.
The wives of Kalia serpent said, the punishment this offender has been subjected to is certainly just. After all, you have incarnated within this world, curbed down, envious and cruel persons. You are so impartial that you look equally upon your enemies and your own sons. For when you impose a punishment on a living being, you know it to be for his ultimate benefit. What you have done here is actually mercy for us, since the punishment you give to wicked certainly drives away all their contamination. Indeed, because this conditioned soul, our husband, is so sinful that he has assumed the body of a serpent, your anger toward him is obviously to be understood as your mercy. Did our husband carefully perform austerities in a previous life with his mind free of pride and full of respect for others? Is that why you are pleased with him? Or did he, in some previous existence, carefully execute religious duties with compassion for all living beings? And is that why you, the life of all living beings, are now satisfied with him? Oh Lord, we do not know how the serpent Kalia has obtained this great opportunity of being touched by the dust of your lotus feet. For this end, the goddess of fortune performed austerities for centuries, giving up all other desires and observing austere vows. Those who have attained the dust of your lotus feet never hanker for the kingship of heaven, limitless sovereignty, sovereignty, the position of Brahma or rulership over the earth. They are not interested even in the perfections of yoga or in liberation itself. Oh Lord, although this Kaliya, the king of the serpents, has taken birth in the mode of ignorance and is controlled by anger, he has achieved that which is difficult for others to achieve. Embodies soul who are full of desires and are thus wandering in the cycle of birth and death can have all benedictions manifested before their eyes simply by receiving the dust of your lotus feet. We offer our obeisance unto you, your supreme personality of Godhead, although present in the hearts of all living beings as the super soul. You are all pervasive, although the original shelter of all created material elements, you exist prior to their creation. And although the cause of everything, you are transcendental to all material cause and effect, being thus supreme soul. Obeisances unto you, the absolute truth, who are the reservoir of all transcendental consciousness and potency, and the process and the possessor of unlimited energies, although completely free of material qualities and transformations. You are the prime mover of material nature. Obeisances unto you, you who are who are time itself, the shelter of time and witness of time in all its phases. You are the universe, and also its separate observer. You are its creator and also the totality of all its causes. Obeisances unto you, who, who are the ultimate soul of physical elements, of the subtle basis of perception of the senses, of the vital air of life, and of the mind, intelligence, and consciousness. By your arrangement, the infinitesimal spirit souls falsely identify with the three modes of material nature, and their perception of their own true self thus becomes clouded. We offer our obeisances unto you, the unlimited Supreme Lord, the, the supremely subtle one, the omniscient personality of Godhead, who are always fixed in unchanging transcendence, who sanction the opposing views of different philosophies, and who are the power upholding expressed ideas and the words that express them. We offer our obeisance again and again unto you, who are the basis of all authoritative evidence, who are the author and ultimate source of the revealed scriptures, and who have manifested yourself in those Vedic literatures, encouraging encouraging sense gratification, as well as in those encouraging renunciation of the material world. We offer our obeisance to Lord Krishna and Lord Rama, the sons of Vasudeva, and the Lord Pradyumna and Lord Aniruddha. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the master of all the saintly devotees of Vishnu, the obeisance to you, O Lord, who manifest varieties of material and spiritual qualities. You disuse yourself with the material qualities, and yet the functioning of those same material qualities ultimately reveals your existence. You stand apart from the material qualities as a witness and can be fully known only by your devotees. O Lord Rishikesha, master of the senses, please let us offer our obeisance unto you, whose pastimes are inconceivably glorious. Your existence can be inferred from the necessity for a creator and a revealer of all cosmic manifestation. But although your devotees can understand you in this way, to the non devotees, you remain silent, observed in self satisfaction. Obeisance unto you, who know the destination of all things, superior and inferior, and who are the presiding regulator of all that be. You are distinct from the universal creation, and yet you are the basis upon which the illusion of material creative evolves, and also the witness of this illusion. Indeed, you are the root cause of the entire world. O Almighty Lord, although you have no reason to become involved in the material activity, still you act through your eternal potency of time to arrange for the creation, maintenance, and destruction of this universe. You do this by awakening the distinct functions of each of the modes of nature, which before the creation lie dormant. Simply by your glance, you perfectly execute all these activities of cosmic control in a sporting mood. Therefore, all material bodies throughout the three worlds, those that are peaceful in the modes of goodness, those that are agitated in the mode of passion, and those that are foolish in the mode of ignorance, all are your creations. Still, those living entities whose bodies are in the mode of goodness are especially dear to you, and it is to maintain them and protect their religious principles that you are now present on the earth. Ma'am, can I?
Yes, I think till 53. 53.
At least once, a master should tolerate an offense committed by his child or subject. O supreme peaceful soul, you should therefore forgive our foolish husband who did not understand who you are. O supreme Lord, please be merciful. It is proper for the saintly to feel compassion for women like us. This serpent is about to give up his life. Please give us back our husband, who is our life and soul. Now, please tell us, your maid servants, what we should do. Certainly, anyone who faithfully executes your order is automatically freed from all fear. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, your voice looks very familiar, Mataji. Are you a teacher?
No, actually, I like to read actually.
Yeah,
Yes.
very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So here, the wives of Kalia, sorry. Yeah. So they are offering obeisances onto the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, and they were saying, even in your punishment, there is some amount of consideration is that, and they were just saying, did my husband did something very good in his previous life, thus you are very considerate towards him, and you're giving him a proper direction to regain his lost consciousness with you. And at the same time, yes, you are very merciful towards the devotees who are there in the mode of goodness and who have an extreme faith and who always engage themselves in the service of you. But at the same time, it is not like that you are just having inattentiveness or not looking after the devotee who are there in the mode of a passion and ignorance. So simply you have a more affinity towards the people who are there in a goodness. But whatever said and done, now that you are very tolerant and very merciful towards Kalia, and you are just redirecting him to in a different channel to save his life. At the same time, you are telling him the required instructions, like how he has to protect the resources which are given by Lord. Okay, so at the
Guruma,
end,
me.
yes.
Actually, in this world, like Dwapar Yuga, who has all born, no, even though demons, even bad characters, they might have did good things in previous, like that. That is the way they has lived in the same yuga where Lord Krishna has born into that world. Is it so? Because even here, this serpent also, he might be blessed with. That's the way they are telling. No, like he has did some good things in previous life. That the wing lotus feet has touched him, on his head. Is it so? Even the
Yes, Mataji, you're right. Actually, even Jaya Vijaya or the Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, they are the same
yeah,
Dantavaktra and Shishupala in another
yeah,
life, and
Shishupala.
Ravanasura and Kumbhakarna in the Dwapar Yuga.
Actually,
So
when we teach our kids, no, we will see that bad things definitely one day they'll be they'll be punished or they'll be defeated, we'll say. But in this way, when I try to teach my kid, if I say Shishupala, he has been given a wish by his mother because of the mother is the good person, and Lord Krishna has given 100 mistakes till that he'll give excuse. So if I see in that case, but later sometimes when I heard that he has been killed by the best Brahmastra is nothing but like Sudarshana Chakra that has been touched his head and cut into the pieces. So it is that God's weapon has touched him. That is also a best thing. And in the same way, he has did bad things. How could how could how could we teach our kids like bad will be punished? But here in Dwapara, Treta Yuga, where gods has born, no, in that Yuga, every person itself, they might have did in a good things, and but they born in a bad way. How could we teach our kids actually?
Mataji, all of us have these three modes, Sattva, Raja and Tamoguna. Okay, we are not completely pure. Okay, but the only thing is that everybody have some amount of good, bad, all the qualities. But by being in the mode of goodness, our quantity of bad will come down. We have to reduce that. If the quantity of bad goes up, how can I say, like a disease, if you take, if your immunity is good, your disease, the chances of becoming disease is very low. But if your immunity is low, the chances of you becoming a disease is high, isn't it? So when you become a disease, you will succumb to all sort of like your lifespan will go off. You don't have quality of life, all those things, isn't it?
Yeah.
So similarly, if your good is good, that is like an immunity, it will protect you from all sort of fevers. If your bad is more like a disease, it will destroy you.
So
So
in this Shishupala was killed by Sudarshan Chakra, which is, entire Vishnu, the supreme god's weapon, such a powerful weapon. He was killed by that weapon. So he's really, we say, he's how lucky that person was killed by Sudarshan Chakra. Sometimes some Guruji says that. So
see,
is it a good?
Shivpala don't know till he dies that he is in the body of a demon. So he will do all demonic characters and everything and all.
Yeah.
Only at the end, after he dies, he will realize like that is known before only. So definitely bad will be punished because bad will do no good to any others because
So in
all
this serpent also he was troubling all the Gokula Vasa and cows and whatever the Gopa Balaka and all. So he was punished.
who
Yeah.
will be the
But he
makers?
was touched by the lotus feet. No, so he's a lucky, right?
Yeah, he is lucky. That's what they were saying. No, in this, even the people who are not devotees also, they are
Ignorance. Yeah.
more. But people who
Yeah.
are more in devotional service, they are under more protection.
Okay.
Suppose if you take the Gopabalas and Gopikas and all the cowherd boys who are there,
Yeah, they're lovable. Yeah.
he's protective towards them, more protective towards them, and he just left Kalia by just giving a small warning, isn't it? You can see the protection of the Lord towards his pure devotees as well as not so pure devotees. So there is a
Not
very
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
So our only thing is that bad will definitely be punished. See, and the example of Shishupala is that whenever we do a sinful reaction, so people will think I am spared at this point of time. Okay, and whatever the sinful reactions we do, it will manifest into 4 forms. One is in the seed form. One will sprout into a bud, and one will grow as a small shrub, and one will grow as a big tree. Okay, and it will start giving the fruit and all. Why some people do mistake, but they will not have they will not be punished, is that remains dormant as a seed, so he will not be punished for that. And why some people they will escape with a small punishment, and some people who have whose sinful reactions have been fructified and they will be punished for that particular act. So it's all depend, and it's not like see the soul which we are carrying right now, it's an old one. For generations together, it has changed the body. In the present form, it has taken our body. Okay, and that has certain amount of a past karma. So depending on that, that will be fructified, or the whatever the end result of that will be there. So it's a time for good deeds, doing the good deeds, being a righteous person, being honest, being a good asset to the society is a very difficult thing. Okay, and it is rewarded at the end. But being a wrong person, may you reward you in the very beginning, but when these sinful activities come to the fructification, definitely it will give you the results at the end.
Yeah. Thank you, Guru.
Yeah. I think we have completed. Few more prayers are left. Prayers by Indra, Gopi, Sakrura, Muchukunda, Rudra, and Vedas. We will try to complete by next week. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Rachaita, the other demon is Dantavakra.
Dantavakra, okay.
Okay.
After that, what are we going to start? After the Bhagavatam prayers?
Acharya series.
And after that?